Yeah.
And okay, so let's start. I'm gonna bring my patient to sit on a chair. My model, sorry, not patient.
Still healthy.
Can you sit with the side?
Right. I don't understand. How do I work on someone if he's not physically with me in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, so you imagine them being there. You see the person in your mind, or you can see them on the screen in front of you. And you can just imagine the person, a person sitting in front of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. And does it? And it should be like, and I'm connecting like in my imagination to the person that I'm talking with, or that I'm seeing on the screen.
Yeah. Wait, I don't see who's talking.
Okay.
Who was asking the question? Gabriella, is that you?
Ta'ir.
Ta'ir. Okay. So basically what you do is either you imagine the person, or you can, like we're doing now on Zoom or on Skype, you can actually have them in the same sort of meeting space with you, and then you can see them, right? So in these days, it's really simple. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just a lot of.
When we're practicing,
you can.
So when we're practicing now, we practice it with someone. I practice with Sarah.
Sahara? Yeah, Sahara will be your patient for now. You don't have to. It's just an idea, so that you can actually see someone that you're working on.
Yeah, I think it's great to try that.
The person that you're working on at the moment, maybe you can also then notice if you're feeling anything or getting. Okay, so if you don't have
the gallery.
So the person that you're working on can either be sitting on a chair in front of you, on a real chair that you're just placing in front of you, or on an imaginary chair. So for example, if I didn't have a model here, I would just put the chair there and imagine that someone is actually sitting there. Imagine the person who is sitting there. Yay. So the first step is to open the energetic field. So I will go behind the motion for this is very simple. It's like going around. So my fingers are pretty loose. I'm just going around and zigzagging.
Brai, can you switch off the sound of body so we can see you?
Which what? Sorry?
If you can switch the sound of everyone, then we can see you, because then it's.
Ah, yeah. Okay. How do I do
that? It's not switching to.
Yeah. How do I do that? Anyone have an idea? Mute.
It's not switching to.
Or everybody can just take a look for a moment that he's on unmute, unmute them to mute themselves.
Found it. You're all muted now. Okay. Can you hear me fine? Wave if you can hear me fine. Yeah, great. So we're going to open the energetic field 3 times on each side, front and back. And you can really start already feeling the energy moving around, moving in the room. It's a good idea to follow the motion of your hands with your eyes. Where we look is where our attention goes and where our intention goes. So we really try to follow Okay, we come to the side of the person and we put our hands on their head. One hand is in the back, just here, back of the head, and one on top of the head, kind of on top of the, just above the head, forehead. Exactly. And if you don't have anyone sitting here, you're just doing the same thing and imagining the person's head. And we stay here for about 1.5 minutes. Just really kind of listening is what I like to do here. Really not thinking about much of anything, listening to the birds outside or the sound of the energy traveling, feeling the hands warming up, feeling what's happening in the person's head. You can try to feel what's going on in the other person, even if they're not in the same space with you. Really relax as much as possible your body. You can also listen to what's going on in your own body. Leaning into yourself. Can be 1.5 minutes, or like Elon likes to count to 20. So after this is done, we're going to do what's called balancing. So I'm just going, like I'm spreading out the energy or whatever happened, I'm spreading it kind of evenly around the head area. So the fingers are not too relaxed, but not too tense. So it's like I'm trying to just spread everything that was just, and this is also pretty much 5 to 7 times is enough. But try to go around the head. And then we warm the heart. So one hand on the front, one hand on the back. And again, for about 1.5 minutes, trying to kind of feel what's happening between the two of my hands, or just singing a song. Not pressing too hard, just kind of being present. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can really feel a lot of kind of buzzing going on, heating, warming up, moving sensation. But even if you're not feeling anything, it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It's working anyways. So after this is done, I'm going to come to the front of my patient and kind of do a cleaning motion. So the excess energy, I want to clean and shake it out. Clean it like I'm wiping some water off of a surface and I'm shaking off the drops from my hand. 3 to 5 to 7 times. Shaking it off, away and outside of the person's energy field. At this stage, it's possible to include some more specific elements. So if you're treating someone who has a lung situation, you can just put your hands a bit lower where the bronchi is, or if you know that it's in the more on the right side of the lungs, then you can go to the right or to the left. If it's some kind of back pain, arthritic problem, like if it's a shoulder pain, I could go to the shoulder. If it's ear infection, anything or that you want, you can enter and do at this point, and then you can just warm. So we're going to imagine that our patient has a bronchi, like a lung situation. So we're just going to place our hands on both sides of the airways, which are kind of in the center of the chest, a bit below the heart, maybe. And I'm really taking care to stand comfortably, so I can really lean into the ground and just be super relaxed here. I'm going to stay here for another 2 to 3 minutes or count to 20. Go on. And again, we clean. Cleaning off the excess. Alternately, it's also possible to come to the back of the person and just go and kind of go along the spine, staying for maybe half a minute or a minute in different parts of the spine. You can, if it's easier, you can sit behind the patient or stand. Imagine that you can imagine your patient standing in front of you, or you sitting behind them, whichever is comfortable for you. I'm just leaning here, it's okay for me. And now I'm just going to be moving my hands down the spine without cleaning or anything in between. Because after this, we're going to do like a whole motion up the spine. So. It may feel right also to have one hand in the front and one hand in the back. We're all, you know, practitioners, healers. We all have and use our intuition. So really feel very free to use your intuition, whatever feels right. Can also move with, leave one hand in one spot and move down or up with the other hand. It's also possible. I mean, anything is possible, really. And just, this is what's coming to my head right now. It just felt like going up to the throat. You can really at some point feel that it's enough. And kind of let your hands move just by themselves. So the next part, for the next part, I'm going to ask my model to stand up. It's just going to be easier for me to show you, and stand in front of me. So we're doing, this part is called positive energy therapy. So I'm pointing my hands to his back, just underneath the sit bones, and I'm lifting my hands up all the way over the head. From beneath the sit bones to the top of the head, and then releasing. So the way up, my hands are tense, like I'm lifting something up. And then on the way down, they're completely relaxed. So it's like raising the potential, like I'm raising all of the fluids up and then letting them drop down. According to Zdenko, I think what's happening here is that the magnetic field of our hands is influencing the blood iron, which is kind of going up and then releasing down. So we're creating an upward or some kind of a movement of the blood circulation, like a waterfall. Lifting and releasing. And again, watching the movement of my hands, following it with my eyes. This is done 25 to 30 times. So there is another part which is kind of optional. I'm going to show it to you, but basically this can be it. Okay, this is all it is. So we started by opening the energetic field, warming the head, balancing the energy around the head, warming the heart, cleaning around the heart, then moving to whichever part we want to work on, whichever part is calling us, is asking for some kind of attention. And then we're doing this part of moving up the spine. And then after that, we close the energetic field. But before I do that, I'm going to show you another part, which is called the feet manipulation. So for this, I'm going to ask my model to sit on the floor. And I'm going to bring this down to the floor. So you're just going to be seeing his feet. Ich habe ihm kleine Shot. Ach, ich muss halten mit der Frau. So this part starts with balancing around the feet for half a minute. Can be done if a person is sitting on a sofa or a chair with the back and then another stool in front of them to put the legs on. After this, we, with our fingers, you know, what would we call it? And Ilan calls it the, not tickling. So the fingers are strong and I'm really moving them like I'm trying to stir, like it's there's some kind of liquid here or something that I want to stir up with my fingers. And I'm pointing them towards the feet. So it's like a provocation, provoking, you know, through the feet, all of the organs and every part of our body. So it's kind of a provocation. Doing this for 30 seconds, half a minute. And then coming with my hands on top of the feet, like pressing down. Like there's some kind of liquid here that I want to press down, 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 down. And I'm not touching the feet here, just staying very close to the feet, but keep on pressing down so my hands are tense. And again, I can feel a lot of energy and buzzing and going on here. And also staying here for about 30 seconds. Manipulating the feet. So it's three parts. There's the balancing, the provocation, and then the kind of pressing down. If the person that you're doing this to is lying down and it's really comfortable to do this. And after that, you can again do the positive energy to the whole body. So going from below the feet and up to the top of the head and release. Lift, tense hands, relaxed hands, tense. Following the movement of the hands with your eyes, lifting. 30 times. The more the merrier, as much patience as you have for it. Both hands are kind of going together. Whoop, whoop, like you're rowing in water. So that way there's a resistance going up, and going down is really relaxed. Resistance in the going up and releasing. The end is like we started. We're closing the energetic field in the same way, only this time, instead of opening, instead of the emphasis being on the open, the emphasis will be on the close. Like a fabric that is being drawn together from the front and then from the back. 3 to 5 times. Closing. And the very last part, which is also very important, is the tapping on the reflex points. So 2 or 3 fingers are tensed, and they come to tap just on top of the scapula, the top part of the scapula, where it's just between the bone and the muscle there. So it has to be really like a very present, this tap, whether it's in person or in the imagination. What it's supposed to do is like a reset for just kind of a general reset. Thank you to my model. I'm going to unmute you all. Let's see if I remember where to do that. No. You can unmute yourselves also, I guess. No, I don't know where to do it. I lost it. Questions?
We're unmuted.
וואי, האינטרנט שלי כזה גרוע, אני רואה אותך מקוטע.
Thank you, רגע.
תודה רבה.
תודה רבה.
How was it? Does anyone have questions or?
Ronaldo.
תודה.
No.
טלי.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you all. If anyone has questions, you can stay and answer. And if you want to have another practice session, let me know or whatever.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Bye.
I'm gonna call Nick to see if he said something.
Kisses to everyone.
Kisses.
Gabriela, and Noah, and Leonardo, and even people I don't know, and Sahara, and Nitan, and Fido, Iran, Roy, oh, Royko.
Amen.
Helen.
Good to see you.
Hmm?
Oh, who is this?
מה יש עוד?
איך קוראים לילדה? אני לא זוכרת.
גם אני לא.
Does anyone want to share or the experience or just say something about something completely different?
I enjoyed it very much. I feel it on myself, I feel it.
Yeah.
The energy. I don't know if Amit felt it so much, but I did.
Yeah. Actually, what I didn't say before, and I should probably add now, it's a good opportunity as any, is that normally the bioenergy therapy is done 4 days in a row. So like one treatment is 4 days. To complete one treatment, you have to do it for 4 days in a row, like 15 minutes each day, right? Yeah, for any kind of treatment in bioenergy. So this is
Do you know why, right?
I think to kind of create a culminative effect, a cumulative effect. Like when we did the course, it's actually, the course is done in the clinic of Zdenko Domencic. And you see people there are coming from all over the world, and they come and they stay in the hotel, and they come each day and they sit in this, it's a huge room where everyone is sitting, and it's every single time there's four people being treated by him and his assistants. But everyone is staying in the same room. Huh?
They do just what we did now.
Yeah. They come in every day and they receive their treatment, and it lasts for, and it's like they come for 4 days and then they go. So, and I've done actually a few treatments like this from afar with patients who couldn't come or were suffering from something and were in a different country, and it's very, very effective.
Wow.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How did
So,
you do this far?
Do the person that I give a treatment has to know about it? Like it has to be kind of present at the same time, or I can just imagine the person that needs it and without kind of informing that person in this moment that I'm going to do?
It's a really, really good question, actually. And this treatment can be very powerful. And if a person doesn't know that they're going to receive it, and for example, they're driving, or they're walking and crossing the street, or I don't know, doing what, and they can, you know, suddenly receive a treatment, then maybe it's not a very good idea. So the answer is definitely yes. It's best for the person to be attuned and open to the channel, so that the channel is working in both ways, I suppose. And they know that they are receiving. Good question. Thank you for that question. Yeah.
Like you said, Ray, if someone has something specific, say the throat or the lungs, then I would stay there longer and just...
Definitely. Can stay there longer, and then, like, you know, stay for 3 minutes, clean, and then come back to the same place and feel. Does it want more? Is it enough? And then, and then you can come back to it later in the treatment also. Yeah. Like if we were practitioners from the Zdenko Domencic method, then it would be very strict. You stay there 3 minutes and here for 2 minutes, and you did this and this and that. But because we're not, we're even nurse practitioners, then we can use our intuition and kind of use these principles and as guidelines. But yeah, and I think that because he's teaching people who don't necessarily have any practicing skills or whatever, and he says you don't have to feel anything. Don't try to feel anything. Try to be as clean a channel as possible, with no intentions and no lights and no sending anything in specific. Just let the energy go and flow and do its job. And you don't have to do anything. So it's like that. He's really teaching you to be just the channel and the medium without interfering with your own personal or whatever. So but I think there is a lot of room for personal initiative and imagination and intuition. Sorry, the camera from my PC is just in a really strange place. It's at the bottom of the screen. So if I want to see you, I have to kind of, yeah. How? It's so nice to just smile at each other. I can feel my rippling. We should do that, a smiling session. It's easier to smile when there's more people who are to smile at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will practice.
See if this
is how it feels.
Yeah. I can, if you're interested, I can send you the manual of all of the treatments, of all of the Zdenko Domenčić treatments. It's probably not allowed. But we're the same. I'll send it to you.
It would be lovely.
Right.
So maybe the chat, send me your email or tell me if you want it, and then I can know who to send it to. I don't necessarily have everyone's address, mail address or WhatsApp address, so if you can send me that. אני אשלח לך, ברור.
נשיקות.
Lovely to see you.
Everyone.
Thank you so much.
You, it's so nice to see you.
You're amazing.
You all are.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Ken. What is the name of your baby, this one? I forget.
Varya.
Agnia.
Varya.
Varya. Varya.
New Varya, not Varya.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Helen, good to see you. How are you, Helen? Let's talk soon.
Yes, let's talk.
Let's see if I can send you the file from here, actually. I'm trying to, oh, there it is. So actually I've sent the file here. So if you can If you will wait a moment, then you will receive it.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Great.
Mhm.
Okay, got it? I wonder if it's going to stay if I leave the meeting, end the meeting. Where is it going to go, this file?
Maybe you have to download it, right? There's like or we.
Yeah. Maybe you should download
think-
before the meeting is ending, because I don't know.